Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the best point guard in the NBA? Shai is putting up another MVP season. We know that the best point guard for years in the NBA has been Steph Curry. Has Shai taken his crown? Let's take a look at their recent head-to-head matchups. All of their matchups, Steph Curry has averaged 30 points per game. I wanted to take their last 5 matchups because obviously when Shai was a rookie, it's not necessarily a fair comparison. In the last 5 matchups, Steph Curry has had it going 40, 34, 25, and 34. And the difficult part is Steph and Shai don't necessarily guard each other, so it's not like they're going at each other on the offensive end. You put your best defender on the best player, so Lou Dort is usually guarding Steph Curry. And on the other side, we could see that Shai has had 33, 32, 40, 38, and 24. Then again, obviously Steph Curry is not guarding Shai. It's probably Draymond or Andrew Wiggins. I wanted to show these stats because it's not like Steph Curry has slowed down. He is keeping up with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Obviously, if we're talking this season, Shai is having, again, an MVP caliber season. He might even win this year. His team is performing better than Steph Curry's right now. They are #1 in the Western Conference. You know, Shai can get any shot he wants at any time, but he's not a three-point shooter. He loves shots inside the arc. So he's shooting over 50% from 2-point shots, which makes sense because he is very good at that. But then again, from the 3-point line, Shai is only averaging 34%, where again, he is not the best. And oppositely, we know Steph is the best 3-point shooter of all time, averaging 42% from 3 this season. So I have to keep in mind, Steph Curry is averaging career lows in minutes per game. And I think that's by design because they want to keep him fresh for the playoffs. So remember, if Steph was playing 36, 37 minutes per game, he would be averaging way more points. I remember when this Shai Gilgeous-Alexander trade happened from the Clippers for Paul George, and I made a video on it back then, and I was saying they had to do it in order to get Paul George to pair him with Kawhi. But I said at the same time, I feel like the Clippers are going to kind of regret it because you gave up Shai, who was showing so many flashes. I don't know how many people saw the flashes in Shai that some of us did. I'm not saying I saw him as an MVP, at that point, but I definitely remember making a video saying, I feel like the Clippers might regret this long term because Shai, I think, is going to be that good. The Clippers regret the trade at this point. I don't think they'll ever say yes, but losing Shai, who is clearly an MVP candidate, is really tough to swallow, especially when you didn't win a championship with Kawhi and Paul George, especially Paul George, who is the one you traded for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Back to the question, is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander now the best point guard in the NBA? I think he is certainly making his case. He's showing it in his statistics, in how he's leading his team, in how they're winning, but I don't think we can crown him that yet. And the reason is, part of what gives you the best point guard in the NBA is having playoff success and obviously awards and accolades. Shai has not won any MVPs yet, but I don't doubt that he will win one in his career. And again, it might be this year. And I'm not saying he necessarily has to win a championship before he is crowned the best point guard in the NBA, but I do feel like some people may need him to win one in order to put that title on him. At least at the minimum, he needs to have deep playoff success because he really hasn't had any yet. So, because a lot of players can put up good stats in the regular season, I'm not saying Shai has empty numbers. His numbers have impact on winning on his team. What I'm saying is, we've seen players average 30 before, but that doesn't necessarily make them the best at their position in the NBA. And again, that might be this season. The Thunder look really good. This could be the year that the OKC Thunder, with Shai leading the way, end up in the Western Conference Finals or the NBA Finals, and then he can definitely make his case even stronger. In addition, you need to have repeated success. Now again, this has been the last few years of him averaging 30, and again, a top 2 MVP candidate last year. So he is stringing together multiple regular seasons where he is performing at an elite level and one of the top point guards in the NBA. But again, in order to take that title from Steph Curry, either Steph Curry obviously has to completely fall off, which he's not doing, and he needs to continue having this regular season success and build up his all-star accolades, his MVP accolades, and his playoff successes. I don't doubt that Shai can be the best point guard in the NBA in a couple of years. There's no reason why he can't be. So we just need to see a little bit more from Shai, and like I said, he has plenty of time. His team is on track, so we might see that this season.